Welcome to All About the Philippines. In this video I'm going to tell you 5 more common lies about Filipinas. Now these lies or stereotypes, or even as some may water it down and say misconceptions, but I say for the most part many people simply believe what they hear and are too lazy to think things through for themselves. A few weeks back I gave you 5 common lies about Filipinas in another video, which has been doing quite well. So right here I'm going to give you 5 more common lies about Filipinas. So just hold on one moment and we'll get to that video in a flash. Looking to date a Filipina, or already dating or married to a Filipina? I use my experiences around my relationship with my Filipino wife of 6 years, as well as my professional experience as a qualified relationship counsellor for the past 10 years to help you on your way. Are you after information, tips and resources for a successful relationship with a Filipina and maintain it? Too easy. Just take a second to subscribe and click the bell icon, and I promise you'll never miss out again. If you haven't seen the first video, which was called 5 Common Lies About Filipinas, then be sure to check it out after this video finishes. It really annoys me when people make sweeping general statements about Filipinas, and I bet these people have never even been to the Philippines, or they've had bad experiences with a Filipina or Filipinas. And because of those experiences, they now have it in for every single Filipina on the planet. And like I say, people tend to hear something a few times and then they believe it at face value without even giving the statement any real thought, nor will they have any real research done to find out if it's true or not. But these people are certainly very vocal in spreading their lies to the world, and so we get a snowball effect with more simple-minded people believing these lies. These 5 more common lies about Filipinas aren't in any order, it's just the way they've come out of my head. So here we go. The number 1 common lie about Filipinas is when people say most Filipinas speak great English. And I must say, on occasions previously, I've said this myself, but as I'm now aware of that, it won't happen again. Now, it is true that in literature and holiday brochures, etc., you're going to see where it says how the Philippines is an English-speaking country. And it is true that when you're in Metro Manila, you will be able to converse in English with many of the local people, but mostly it's not the same as the English as what you'd be used to in your own country. Now, I don't want all the Filipinos at home to start jumping up and down and abuse me, because there are some in the Philippines who do speak grammatically perfect English, but they are few and far between. Most Filipinos will be able to speak the words, but many may not understand the meaning of what you may be saying to them. Maybe in part because you may be speaking too fast, but also because how many have learnt English in the Philippines isn't always grammatically correct. And as I say, the biggest problem for a Filipina to fully understand is what you're saying to her. Now, even in some of the schools in the Philippines, it may not be perfect English that's being taught, but for many, they're learning English from their parents, their friends, and watching TV as well. So they're not learning correctly in all those forms. From my own experiences, I've had many misunderstandings with my Filipino wife, who still after 6 years in Australia sometimes doesn't understand what I really mean. She may pretend to understand, and then later that day she might go and do the exact opposite, and I'll call her out on it. I believe that most people get this impression not just because the Philippines Tourism Board may push it, but also because many tourists' first impression of the Philippines may be when they arrive in Manila, and the English there is at a reasonable level, maybe more reasonable than what they ever expected. But one needs to remember that Manila, or Metro Manila, is not the whole of the Philippines, and the further you venture from the capital, the less English is spoken and the quality certainly drops even more. So if you meet a Filipina, especially in one of the many province areas in the Philippines, don't be expecting that you'll be able to converse about sports, religion, politics like you would back home. The second common lie about Filipinas is when they say Filipinas dream to run away with a foreigner to his country. Now, of course, online dating or international dating with a Filipina is a huge industry, so plenty of Filipinas are open to this idea, but also many more have not laid awake at night dreaming of a foreign man to come and sweep her off her feet and to marry her. In fact, a video I recently did cover this very same common lie. The video is called "Not All Filipinas Are Searching for a Foreigner," and that's another one that many of you guys might be interested in checking out after this video. Filipinas, like Filipinos in general, are greatly proud of their country and they love it very much. And they have created their entire life there and for the most part are very happy. And then some of these foreigners seem to think that it's all doom and gloom in the Philippines, and all the Filipinos want is a more privileged life in a more developed country. But rest assured, these guys are far from correct. The third common lie about Filipinas is when people say Filipinas only marry foreign men for security and nothing else. And my reply to those guys, of course, is what statistics do they have to back this common lie up with? And of course, it's their own thinking, perception, stereotypical assertion, or just an ignorant misconception that brings this Einstein to his conclusion that he feels he needs to share all over YouTube. And yes, I hear this almost every day on my YouTube channel. Here is the reality. So for you many guys who believe this nonsense, pay close attention and you really may learn something. Most people all over the world want security of some sort. Security doesn't always mean money. Money can certainly be part of security, but security for many people can also be the security within a loving and caring relationship, in knowing they are solid as a couple. Security can be in one's job, where she may enjoy even though she may never get rich from that job. Security can be a place to live and call home every day, even if it's rented. It will provide you comfort and peace of mind, which, yes, adds into the feeling of being secure. I could continue on more about the different ways people feel secure and how important security is to every single one of us, but I think our Einsteins out there should get the picture by now. Our fourth common lie about Filipinas today is when people say that Filipinas are poor. It seems to be that because the Philippines is a developing country, which is an amount of poverty, then that means to these people who spread this lie that all Filipinas must be poor. And no doubt you will find poorer Filipinas in many province areas. This is true. And what is the definition of being poor in the Philippines, and what does that actually look like? I know that what we call poor in Australia looks totally different to that in the Philippines. So for an outsider, he thinks that all Filipinos must be poor. There are plenty of Filipinos out there who do get 3 meals a day, have an income of some sort that they can pay their rent or even buy some land or build a house with. Now, if one does a very quick Google search, they'll find out that in 2015 that 21.6% of the population lived below the poverty line. Now, I'm no mathematical genius, but to me that leaves 78.4% of the entire population, including Filipinos, above the poverty line in the Philippines, or around 3/4 of the country, including Filipinos, who make up almost half of the entire population. Now, with just a little bit of research, we are exposing this common lie about Filipinas. Our fifth and last common lie about Filipinas for this video, and really it's more about Filipinos in general, is that they are dog eaters. Yes, you heard me, dog eaters. It is true that some years back, some people in province areas especially would eat dogs, sometimes even their family pet if they needed food. Now in the modern day, I don't say in some parts of the Philippines it doesn't happen, but that very few people will now participate in dog eating. And certainly many Filipinos will look at that idea with disgust. Times have certainly changed, as have people's ideas around eating dog over the last 20 or so years. And some foreigners may have heard that eating dogs was a thing in the Philippines before the turn of the millennium, and just blindly and ignorantly assumed it still happens today, and every Filipino will also be partaking in a slice of their favourite pooch for dinner. So guys, that's my 5 more common lies about Filipinas video. Be sure to check out my other video on common lies about Filipinas. If you've enjoyed the video or found it informative, then be sure to hit the like button. Feel free to share the video with all your networks and subscribe to our friendly community if you haven't already done so, and press the bell icon to get all our future videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all your support. Take care and bye for now.